This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae Rae.
And this is our house. Welcome back to the House of Hockey podcast. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae Rae.
And we're back at it again. And it's episode 9?
Nine. We've been doing this for 9 weeks. That's like 2 months.
9 episodes deep.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's awesome. We've had I'm having a blast doing this.
I am too. It's something I look forward to every week, although it is getting a bit warmer outside. It is the most refreshing thing of my week to be able to come up here and chat with there's so many different personalities that we've had on here. And it's cool to kind of hear, from different fans, from different fan bases, from teams. We've obviously had a couple podcast people up on here, and today we're hearing a little bit deeper on a culture of hockey.
We have an interview with 2 gentlemen who are making a documentary film about just this love of hockey. It's called For the Love of Puck. And they really give us an inside look at hockey all around the world, men, women, hockey in Minnesota. There's a blind hockey team. There is just so much that goes on in the culture and lifestyle of hockey. And we had to talk to them because obviously that's so much of what we try to do here on the podcast and share with all of you guys is digging into this other underbelly side of the sport that we are all drawn to in some way, shape, or form. So stay tuned for that interview.
Yep. So I think we should probably start this by doing our usual life update. What's going on with you?
Okay, life update. I think we talked about it last week where I took a virtual class for my hockey training. And I'm going to be really honest. I was really defeated after, because it's so new, and it's hard being a grown-up learning something is so new, and hockey is one of the hardest sports to learn, sort of, period, end of story. And I've just sort of I have not picked up my stick in a while, and I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna just practice some basic stuff. I have the recording of my virtual class, and I'm gonna do it. I just have to buck up, put my big girl panties on, pick up the stick and keep practicing, because that's the only way I'm going to get better. But that feeling, we've all felt that feeling of I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to do this. I suck at this.
Yeah. Just throw your stick down.
Literally.
I hate you. Yeah.
That's how I felt. But that's something we have to overcome with anything in life, whether you're learning to play hockey in quarantine or just taking on anything new. It's about how you persevere and how you work through those challenges. And
gotcha.
What about you?
Gosh, I feel like I'm the same. I feel like it's a new week, but have you ever seen the movie Happy Death Day? Yes. That's what I feel like my life is like. Although I'm not dying, I just keep reliving the same day over and over and over again. And it's getting old a bit, but no, but it's still all good. Still working. I adjusted my work schedule this week. It's week 1 of adjusting. I had to do more of a summer hour, since we were just talking. We have no AC in our areas, so it's about 90 it was 95 degrees out today, and my room is a steady 90 degrees and humid. So I have to like start working at 6 a.m. to be done by like 2-ish to not get heat stroke. So I've never been one that has ever really liked the sun. Clearly, I wear black all the time, and if you knew me before this pandemic, I was the whitest person ever. I could be out in the sun and I can get completely red and then my skin would turn white again. No tan ever. But I've been tanning because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So my legs are pretty dark right now, but that's about it.
Ooh.
So not really. I mean, I'm still white as cheese, but
white as cheese. I never heard that.
Well, I'm not going to say any other word. Remember?
You say white as cotton.
I've never heard white as cotton.
Cotton, white cotton. That's like
there's
I
white
think that's
cheese.
A phrase.
But there's white cheese.
Yeah. I just never
white
heard
as cheese.
That. White as bread.
But not all bread is white. A lot of people
true.
only eat like wheat bread.
This is true. I suck at those phrases. I butcher them together, so I don't know.
I do too. Don't worry. But other than that, I planned out. Remember I said I was going to try to go on a road trip after this whole.
Oh yeah. What's the update?
So we had to cut it down pretty short. So now I'm only going to be gone 2 weeks, which is still a long time.
And you're going to do the Pacific West Coast, right?
We're actually, I think, Pacific. Yes.
The Pacific West.
Yeah, but we're just going to be going up to Oregon.
Okay.
And then heading back down through like Tahoe and stuff. So
it's going to be awesome, though.
It's going to be great because I'm going to have my dog with me, and he's perfect. He's the best friend ever. So
the best friend anybody could ask for. What is that from The Hangover? The 3 best friends that anybody could have.
I mean, maybe.
I hear the weirdest things in my head.
Well, I was brushing my teeth today, and I was like, what was it? A honey badger. I was like, how did the honey badger come in my head? Where have I heard honey badger from? It's in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, honey badger don't give a shit or whatever is the thing. It's from some YouTube clip, right? It was some like in a movie. Sure, I'm sure it was in a movie.
But first of all, why did what did I say?
Honey badger.
Why did honey badger come into my head when I was brushing my teeth? And why did I think of? I don't even really watch movies. I mean, I do, but.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, I'm a big horror movie fan.
Oh, I can't watch.
I would say Halloween is I'm a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan. She's the Scream Queen. So Michael Myers is my favorite killer. Hands down, I'll watch that anytime it's on. But I would say the Insidious series are probably my favorite scary movies because they're obviously scary. Pretty scary. But
I can't watch scary movies. I'm retired.
Well, you don't like ghosts and stuff like that.
I deal with that. Yeah, I deal with ghosts in my real life. Like, I don't need to watch a movie about it.
Is your house haunted?
No, this apartment's not haunted. No.
But you said you deal with ghosts in your real life.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have occasionally.
But yeah, because you lived in New Orleans. That's easy.
Yeah. My last apartment, I believe I had a experience of the unexplained kind. But people are going to be like, this bitch is out of her mind. So anyway, if people really want to hear my ghost stories, I can tell you them. But
I do. I actually really do. We might have to have like a specific episode that's like Rae Rae's ghost stories.
Yes. Or we can do like a segment in the show or something. But I believe in it. I have lots of things that have happened that are not able to be explained. And I believe that some people are more in tune with the other planes, like not airplanes, but the planes in which energy exists on. And I think
you're deep into it.
Yeah. So I that's my thoughts. But
that's your deal.
What I wanted to say about Halloween being your favorite movie when I
Well,
was
The Shining is my favorite movie.
okay,
Let's get that straight.
Okay.
I forgot. Shining's my favorite. Halloween. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Michael Myers. I'm in.
So when I was in 8th grade, every 8th grade class was in charge of the school's Halloween party. And we got to do the haunted house and the games, and like that class every year they had to do it. And we had a super creative, talented bunch of people that were all into performing in my 8th grade class. There's like 30 of us, but it really was like there were so many of us who just loved to like sing and dance and act and perform. And we decided, I don't remember who, but we recreated the Halloween scene where Mike Myers is standing outside of the school with a knife, stalking, I don't know, Jamie Lee Curtis's brother or sister or whatever. We recreated this Halloween movie. We filmed the whole thing. One of the kids, he edited this video on VHS tape, and then I was the host, naturally, at the haunted house in our school, where like there was a room, and I was the host that welcomed you to the haunted house, and we played the video for every tour, and then they like went into the thing. Anyway, I haven't thought about that in forever, and I don't know where the hell that video is, but it exists somewhere. But my favorite movie, I'm a comedy person, and I like classic comedies. So I would say My Cousin Vinny is probably my favorite funny movie that I can watch over and over. Those are my baselines for like deciding what is my favorite, is if it makes me laugh again, even though I've seen it like 100 times and can recite it word for word. But like that one, Bull Durham, and like My Big Fat Greek Wedding are probably my top movies.
Well, you said you created, it wasn't a video, your haunted house, right? Or
was it a video, like
right?
A video that like I played that set up the story for the haunted house. We were deep in this creative thing.
Yeah. Well, I took video production in high school because I loved it. I actually wanted to be a videographer, and I wanted to go on tour and like film like bands and stuff like that, just because that's what I was into. But so I took video production for it was all 4 years. I was in high school, and by the 4th year, obviously, there was a group of, I think it was like 6 or 7 of us that were like the top priority of like the class, just because same teacher the whole entire time, historian, and our senior project, we all decided to make a horror movie. So it was really cool. So, and it was so weird. Like he ended up like getting us out of classes so we can like continue to keep filming our movie. And it was pretty good. It actually was kind of scary, but I was in charge of the smoke machine at one point, and I wanted it to be really sketchy, right? Well, I was a little too sketchy, and I set off the fire alarm, and the whole entire school had to go outside for an hour until they figured out where the fire alarm came from. I did that. It was me. But I didn't say anything. Like, it was a part of a project. Like, I didn't get in trouble. But the firefighters
why didn't you
came.
Say something like, "Hey, it probably came from
my teacher
the
was
machine."
Like, my teacher was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I think it was a smoke machine." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay. It's not my fault. I told my teacher. My teacher didn't tell anybody else. I'm fine."
You did the right thing.
I did.
You alerted an authority.
I did.
You caused the whole
school to go
evacuate
for an hour.
Oh my God.
But it wasn't like I started anything. I didn't pull a fire alarm. Like, I didn't do anything bad. It was just a smoke machine.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't,
No, that's not bad. No.
That's not bad at all. My movie was great. Everything for the movie. That's all you had to do.
Have you ever had any weird celebrity run-ins in LA? I get asked this question all the time because I live in LA.
Yeah.
Do you get this question from everybody? Like, have you ever seen a celebrity? I get it all the time.
Mine is always, do you know a Kardashian? And I'm like, homeboy, do you know a Kardashian?
Are you an NBA player? No? Okay, then no.
No, not at all. Are you a rapper? No. Am I a rapper? We've already discussed I'm white as cheese. They don't want to come around me.
White as cheese. I think that should be one of our shirts. Your shirt quote. By the way, guys, we're working on creating a merchandise store for you. We just haven't figured out what we want to put on our gear. So white as cheese might have to be one.
Might have to be one. Celebrity run-ins. Oh God! Well, I'm a big Miley Cyrus fan. I have been ever since Hannah Montana. I know I'm weird, but they actually, it's not okay. I'm gonna sound really stalkerish, but so she used to live in Toluca Lake, and there's a restaurant out there that I used to go to all the time, and like I love Toluca Lake. I love the housing track, like, and it's just such like a nice low key like area that like I'd go and like I'd take my friend and my dog would come, and we'd go like take a little walk around the neighborhood, whatever. And Liam Hemsworth at the time was just starting to date Miley. So I was walking my dog, and it's my other dog. He passed away a couple of years ago, but I would only walk him to the street because he would sniff everything. He was a big white lab. So obviously he walks in the street, he has to go to the bathroom, and he used to go number 2 twice on every walk. That was just his thing. So he did his number 2 in the street. Well, I didn't have a bag with me. It was in the car. I forgot it. So my friend went to go get the bag out of the car. So I brought my dog to the curb. Well, here comes Liam Hemsworth, and he ran over my dog's poop in his brand new Beamer. But it wasn't really a run-in, but he did run over my dog's poop. I think that was probably the most memorable thing. Other than I did run into Demi Lovato in Urban Outfitters at the Topanga Mall, and she full on knew that I saw her. She's trying to be all undercover, and I was like, and she's all, yeah, that was it.
That's super random, the Demi Lovato thing.
It was really weird. It was really, because like we made like awkward eye contact, and it was like, I know who you are. She goes, I know you know who I am. But I wasn't going to say anything. Like, I'm not that kind of person. But it was like, once you see someone in public that like is like a big star, like it's hard to like not like constantly like look over at them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
I think the weirdest one is with Steve Carell. I haven't told this story, have I?
No.
Okay. So okay. First of all, let me preface. I interview celebrities and people of that world all the time. And when I'm in that space, it's work. And I don't freak out. It's all very normal to me. But when I see celebrities in my like real life, which is like just going to CVS, my brain like can't compute that. Okay. So I now have a rule that if I see a celebrity out in public, I do not engage. That is my hard, fast rule. It's like,
okay. Do not engage.
Do not engage. So I went to CVS. I'm picking up my makeup, whatever stuff I need. I'm walking down the aisles. I see this guy in a baseball hat, and I'm like, oh, I think I know him. Because that's what happens when I see a celebrity. I think I know them.
Yeah.
Because I maybe I have interviewed them. Maybe I haven't. It throws me off. And I'm like, how do I know that person? And then I was like, oh, that's Steve Carell. Cool. I thought, oh, well, I'm gonna make his day and just say how much I love his movies. Because I was like, I thought I could do that at this point. This was like 6 years ago, for the record.
Okay.
And we're in line. He's in line behind me. I'm like, no, don't say anything. No, say something. No, don't say something. No, say something. I check out and I say, I'm going to just say something. And I turn around and I go kind of quietly because there's people. And I say, I just want to say, I really love your movies. They really make me laugh. Thanks. Yeah. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, thank you. I mean, you're welcome. Okay, bye-bye. And I just like walked away. So I was
Oh
like,
no.
I completely was like not prepared for the response. I had
Yeah.
prepared what I was going to say, and I just said thank you to him for saying thank you. No, the response is you're welcome. Have a great day. Goodbye. And I just turned around and I walked out, and I was like,
Oh
never,
no.
never again, Rachel. Never again. Do not engage.
Well, do you have a celebrity crush now that you've
No,
no.
no,
Not one? Your
no,
eyes lit up when I said Liam Hemsworth. Are you really gonna say that Liam Hemsworth isn't your crush?
no,
Aw. Wait,
no.
you said no. You're not gonna
No,
confirm? Oh.
no, he is not my crush.
Just kidding.
No, no. I don't, no,
No?
no real crushes. I wouldn't, because it's also like I would never really want to date them. So there's no
True.
fun in
Yeah.
like picking or like a hockey player crush is like another thing because like I would be more inclined to date a professional hockey player than I would an actor or
Yeah.
celebrity.
Gotcha.
But that's as far as I'll go with that. I don't
Gotcha.
know, celebrity crush. What about you? I don't really have one.
Well, I guess it would have to be through genre. I mean,
It's
movie
true.
star? Movie star, hands down, Chris Evans. I mean, just look at the guy. Captain America, come on.
He's very clean cut, classic looking. Yes.
He's very great. Very great.
I know.
Okay.
Charlie Hunnam. Hunnam
Who the heck is
from
that?
Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I never watched that. My dad worked on it. Actually filmed out here. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he's pretty.
Okay, I'll have to look him
Maybe
up.
maybe his just character on the show is somebody I'm interested in. I
Maybe.
don't know what he's like in real life. But he's cute.
So his character.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
celebrity crush on his character. I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah, because we don't know what these people are like in real life.
No.
You
But I
know?
hear Chris Evans is a real good guy. No, just kidding. I don't know. Who knows? I'm watching this stupid Out of the Shadows documentary. I don't believe anything anymore.
Okay.
I'm doomed.
Yeah, we're all doomed. The world's
Yep.
ending. There's like killer hornets. We've got a coronavirus. We're in lockdown in a pandemic. I mean,
Yeah.
what else is on? I shouldn't even say that because like we don't want to add anything to the list.
No, I'm good.
It's bad
I'm
enough.
good. I'm
Oh,
good.
I want to remind everybody before I think we're going to get into the interview, but if you have a hockey story of you meeting an NHL player, past or present, we want to hear your story. And we have a phone number. We've had a bunch of people call and tell us their stories. I'm so excited. We're going to play one for you after I stop talking, but thank you, everybody, for calling. You can call our number 323-438-2648. Just tell us your name and tell us the NHL player and the team they played for, and then just tell us your story in 5 minutes or less and leave it on the voicemail. And here is this week's fan NHL player story.
This is Kathy Wolf, and this story is about meeting Douglas Murray of the San Jose Sharks. And this goes back several years, but he had become my biggest Sharks crush, and there hadn't been a lot of opportunities for me to meet him. But the next opportunity that came up was at the annual blood drive that the Sharks host, like usually around every January. And at the time, it was a game day, and game day practices were held at the tank. So part of going down to the blood drive was getting to watch the boys actually have practice on home ice before the big game that night. So I attended, and one thing we've learned over the years about the blood drive, especially when the boys are at the tank, is to try and time your blood donation where you're sitting in the chairs when the boys come up to greet everyone and say hello, and they usually walk around and say hello to the people that are in the middle of their donation. So timing seemed to be working out all right. and I was in the chair getting my blood pressure taken, my pulse, all that kind of stuff. And unexpectedly, I see Douglas Murray walk out. He had come up. I wasn't in the chairs yet, and I was both excited and panicked. And the nurse just was in shock because she had to stop me, and she's all, "Oh my God, your blood pressure just skyrocketed. Are you okay?" And it was because I had seen Douglas Murray, and I was panicked that I was going to miss out on meeting him. So I told her what the problem was. She told me, "Oh, just take a picture." And I'm like, "No, I have to take a picture with him." So she had to wait till I calmed down till she could put me in the chair. When I finally got in the chair, he had already gone by that section. And so I was sad panda. But what I didn't know at the time is that the last person he greeted in that area was my friend Jenny, and she was having him sign her jersey, and she realized that I had missed him. So what I didn't know is that she had told him that I had come to meet him and that I had missed him, and he said, "Where is she?" So my head was down because I was really sad, and all of a sudden I hear this, "Are you Kathy?" And I look up, and it's Douglas Murray. And so she had told him, all about how I really wanted to meet him and had missed him. And he came right over, and there was a representative with him who was taking pictures. And so he proceeded to come on over and squeeze in real close to me and take a picture. And I had the biggest smile on my face ever. And it was a very nice memory. He stayed to chat with me for a minute or two before heading out.
What a great story. And we know there are so many other amazing stories out there of fans like you interacting with NHL players, either past or present. And if you have a story that you want to share with us here on the podcast, we would love to hear it. You can just call our phone number, 323-438-2648. Again, 323-438-2648. 2648. State your name, state the NHL player and the team they play for, and then tell us the story in your own words in 5 minutes or less, and that's it. Speaking of players and jerseys, if you are a hockey jersey lover, do you need a new jersey? You need a new jersey. We always need a new jersey. And what about winning a Cool Hockey gift card? Yeah, you can win a coolhockey.com gift card from us. We're giving away on the network, the Hockey Podcast Network, chances to win a $175 Cool Hockey gift card. All you have to do from May 1st to June 1st is buy a jersey, any jersey you want. Through our link, you'll be automatically entered into the drawing to win that $175 Cool Hockey gift card. You just go to coolhockey.com/THPN. That's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. And buy a jersey.
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs a new jersey, right?
Oh, yeah.
Plus, if you get to win a $175 gift card on top of just buying it, I mean, you could buy yourself 2 jerseys if you wanted to. And on top of that, you can also use code THPN for 30% off of your jersey at coolhockey.com, which is equivalent to about $75 off. So go to coolhockey.com/THPN, order your jersey with code THPN again for 30% off, and be entered in to win $175 from coolhockey.com.
Yeah, that's like 2 jerseys for the price of one, basically, if you win the gift card.
Yeah.
And 30% off, that's a ton off of a hockey jersey. That's as good as it gets, baby, as far
That's
as
a good deal.
Jerseys go. And they have everything. You can get customized jerseys. I was looking and I thought, well, maybe I should just get a custom jersey because that'd be really cool. But then I got sucked. Then I got into my anxiety spiral of like, but what number do I put on and what color do I get and what name do I put on? And I was like, okay, I can't think about this right now.
We should make custom House of Hockey jerseys. That would be sick.
Yeah. But I don't know if do you think all the people listening would buy that if we like made that? And
Absolutely
put that in a merch
not.
store?
No.
Just for you and me.
No, it would just be for us.
Okay.
Yeah, just for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I mean, if someone wants to buy it, that's cool too, but
yeah, let us know. When we put in our order, we'll put one in for you.
Yeah. Limited edition.
Limited edition. All right, let's send it on over to this week's interview. Welcome from the state of hockey, Minnesota, for those of you who don't know. Please welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, Kaz, Semlack, and Adam Howard. They are the co-creators of the upcoming documentary film For the Love of Puck, and Joe Malore is their cinematographer. We have to give him a shout out as well. But welcome, Kaz and Adam. Welcome to our house.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course, we're very excited at hearing that anybody is doing a documentary about the love of hockey, which both Breezy and I love hockey, and everybody who listens obviously does, is a no-brainer. So before we dive into how you guys got started with the documentary, why don't you guys tell us just briefly a little bit about both of your backgrounds of either playing hockey or your love of hockey, and then I think that will sort of segue into the documentary talk.
I'm a lifelong hockey player. Started playing when I was, I must have been 3 or 4. So basically I've played all my life, which now that means about 36, 37-ish years of playing. Just love the sport, love the culture. I think the culture piece is something that kind of came to me and maybe both me and Kaz a little bit later. You know, as we were playing adult league hockey, we started to realize, you know, that there's just something different and unique about the hockey community. So that's sort of what led us to wanting to do the documentary.
Similar, I started a little bit later than Adam, 5.
And it shows.
You can chirp him all you want. Chirp away.
Yeah. I don't know. We should do some sort of can you tell sort of thing, video, something. I don't know. But yeah, I started about 5 years old. I mean, everywhere, obviously Minnesota, there's lakes everywhere. It's just, I don't think I've taken a break from hockey this long my entire life, ever. So I just, growing up in Minnesota, just about everybody plays, it feels like, but we're kind of lucky that way. But yeah, so, and the culture thing is true. I mean, I think as you grow up, you start to learn hockey, you start to want to, play different levels, trying to be better, watching kids around you that are better or you think they're better. And that's kind of like the motivation that you want to do things better. But I think as you get to a point where you realize you're probably not going to be in the NHL. I mean, I haven't gotten there yet.
Me neither.
Yeah. Okay, good. So when that point comes around in your life and you start to realize that you maybe not be in the NHL, you start to realize that there's something more to it. And I think Adam and I played hockey with his brother, who was a little bit older than Adam, a year younger than me. And he was always around at the rink and, in the Pee Wee level and that. And we reconnected later on in life and we started a team. And then ever since then, we've basically been playing with each other every year, just about every Tuesday for the last 15 plus years. Play a lot. Right now I play 4 times a week and coach and whatever else I can do, at least 4 times a week. And in the winter, it's more just getting out on the outdoor ice and stuff is a lot too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did the idea to start your documentary kind of start up?
It started with an idea of like capturing, the locker room and the kind of characters we play with, which, they're vast. And as we started doing that, we got into this thing where we did this trip to Europe, and it was a 10-day long trip to Europe. We spent 7 of those days playing hockey and traveling across to Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, played hockey in all those areas. And we thought, well, why don't we make a movie of that? Why don't we document that and make that into a film? There's something about the connection of hockey. So that idea morphed into the hockey connections, the culture of hockey, what that's about. And I think, and when anyone who's played or been involved with the sport kind of understands that that is a real thing. And,
yeah,
so that got to be more interesting to us. And we thought, this is really what I think is missing, or what we thought was missing with, documentaries or, hockey in general, is there's a ton of stories of professional players and, how they got started and all that stuff. But, we thought, what about the common person who lives for the sport no matter what? What about the person who's plays 1 time a week, but it's still like the thing that they look forward to all the time?
I think we kind of always knew there was something really special going on. Why are we so addicted to this sport? Obviously, we're not unique. There's got to be these people exist everywhere in every locker room, to some degree,
Right.
across the state, across the country, and then we started looking at, well, with this trip to Europe, let's we're going to have the opportunity to hang out with these people, so let's put together a production crew, let's turn the cameras on, and let's explore that.
I mean, we had some guys from the UK on, and they're kind of explaining how hard it was to find rinks nearby because it's so sporadic, and how hockey really doesn't exist in the UK. Did you find it kind of hard to find rinks or anything, or even just hockey fans while traveling through Europe?
We didn't know what to expect, and I think once we got over there, yeah, it's not as easy to find. I mean, we as Minnesotans live in a hotbed of hockey. I mean, you just cannot go. I mean, there are so many rinks around here and so many leagues and just things happening regarding hockey. Well, I think that what you realize when you go over there is that it is a lot more difficult for those people, and they're just blown away by the fact that Adam and I can drive a minute away and run into 5 different rinks and jump into. I mean,
you could just walk out in your backyard. You can play on a pond, and you can
skate right out the front door.
Do you have a story you guys can share about your time in Europe, or one of the pieces you captured that you really found interesting that you want to share?
One city that sticks out to me was when we were in Innsbruck, Austria. We played at a really cool rink, and we played. It was nice because we were on basically a 7-day hockey tour, which felt awesome. It was really we were with our team, traveling by bus, staying in hotels, sort of living like a professional hockey team or something. We're just getting that experience. But when we got to Innsbruck, we stayed at a hotel for 2 nights, so we got to get settled a little bit, and the rink was directly across the street from the hotel. So we played 2 different teams from Innsbruck, and I can't even tell them apart because of how just welcoming they were. I mean, everybody over there was just such gracious hosts, but they gave us some cool interviews, just really, really fun guys. And each one was, sort of unique and different. One guy was in a band and all this stuff, which is exactly what we wanted to look at, just a variety of people in each location that we go to. We don't want to just focus on people like us. We want to show that there's this, breadth, wide variety of people within the hockey community. So we saw it there, but that continued on into, they'd give each team that we played, they delivered us beer to the locker room. A lot of the teams brought food. These guys from Innsbruck, they took us out. I think it was a work night for them, and they took us out to this bar, and they were just sitting there with us and making sure that we had a good time. Like,
the one guy was just sticking it to the end. He's like, yeah, I got to work at 7 a.m. I'm like, buddy, you can go. I mean, it's cool. I've been at a bar before.
Right, we're good.
But he stayed there. He danced. He, like Adam said, he didn't drink much. Just hung out. Just dead set on making sure that we had a great time. And one of my favorite stories is we went to it was Nhl, Germany, right? Nhl.
Yeah.
The facility there is a Olympic training facility. So the rink itself was inside of a huge speed skating oval. So at the time there was, I think like 7 different international speed skating teams training while we were there, kind of.
Wow.
It was quite the setting. I mean, you're watching real Olympic athletes like going after their passion. In the meantime, we're getting ready for our beer league game. And
against the team called the Oldies, and for good reason. These guys they're up there in age. We just reconnected with one of the guys, Joseph, he's just awesome character, but he's 70 years old. So
wow.
they're awesome group.
Super fun, super competitive. They wanted to win. I think every team we played really had a lot of heart that they really wanted to win. They didn't most of the time.
Yeah.
No, we went undefeated. 1 game we lost.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
So was there like a language barrier at all on the ice, or were they chirping you in other words?
Okay, so there definitely was some chirping going on because it's hockey, so you're definitely, we're all competitive too. You want to have a fun time, but there is some competitiveness out there. Obviously, I mean, some of those guys were ex-pros. The Oldies had about 3 guys that played ex-European pro hockey, and they were pretty decent players. But
Yeah.
they're just older, and we had some women on our team that played. That one guy made mention that he wanted so bad to, you're still playing rough and a little bit. And he ended up taking down one of the girls in the corner, and he felt really bad about that. But I think the girls that we play with don't mind that at all. They it's hockey.
It's
if you're
hockey.
Playing with the boys,
Yeah,
if you're playing with the boys, I mean, you got to take it as
You have to, and I think it'd be more insulting if somebody let up and didn't play hockey the way the way you're supposed to. Yeah, that would be the mentality of the women that we traveled with, and they're all incredible players.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I was going to take a hip check, I'd want it full force, not halfsies.
At that same arena, that's where we got served one of the greatest meals I had on the trip. God. One of the guys on that oldies team, he's a butcher, so they brought food. They brought this meat and hot meat in a cooler and bread. After the game, they brought a bunch of beer and they served up some sandwiches, and we just sat there and hung out with them and interviewed.
How much beer do you think we had at that thing? They brought so much beer. I just remember them.
I think we brought beer to that one too.
Like a two-wheel dolly full of beer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they don't have light beer out there, right? I mean, this was...
No, it's those crates of glass bottles. That's what we were drinking every time.
It was so much fun. Those guys were just making sandwiches for us fresh, and it was amazing.
So I had talked to Kaz a little bit beforehand, and he gave me some insight on the documentary and a couple of the people you featured. So why don't you tell us about that female goalie and how you met her and what makes her really unique and her story that'll be shown in the documentary?
I said, I'm just going to start reaching out on Instagram to a couple of people, and I searched goalie hashtag or something. The first two people came up were female goalies. So I messaged both of them, and that was Thursday night at I don't know, maybe midnight, maybe even after that, and just kind of went past. The next day at noon, Tara had, both of them contacted me back right away, but Tara contacted.
Yeah, what's her name?
Tara Trilar.
Yeah.
She's amazing person, but she contacted me right away, said, I'm into it, let's do it. And she literally had her deposit in by noon the next day. So within 12 hours, she had put down her deposit, said, I'm playing, has never met us.
I was like, I'm in. This is amazing. Let's do it.
Yeah.
This girl looks solid in the net. I mean, she did.
Yeah, she's 5'1", and she's got the attitude that maybe you would expect, because I think she's probably heard no a lot, throughout her life, especially playing goalie, no, you're too small, blah, blah, blah. So I think that stuff really fuels her. I mean, that's part of her personality. Just, tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah. She lives to play hockey. I think that's just part of her life, and that's what we want to show in the documentary, is that she basically lives with her gear in her car. The whole point of the documentary, the basic premise is we feel like hockey connects people in such an interesting way or unique way that if you meet somebody, if this sport brings us together, there's this instant connection, we're instant friends. And so we've proved it with them and with everybody that we talk to. There's just something, you could say maybe the same thing exists within other sports, but I've played other sports, and I firmly believe that it is different.
And you said a variety of people. Now you did a blind team as well?
Yeah, we were in Toronto just right before this Corona thing hit. It's a Canadian Blind Hockey Association, and just an amazing group of, adults, for one, that dedicate a lot of time and effort to these kids to just get out every week and skate. And
that's just I just want to reiterate what we just said, because blind hockey, they cannot see. Yeah. And to play any sport without being able to see is immensely hard. But to play hockey, how do they do that?
Well, I think, just to reiterate what we've been talking about, is these kids are just hockey players. They look forward to it every week. I mean, you just got to realize that they connected with the sport, slightly different way than we did. Some of them, connected with it like we did. But bottom line is they made that connection, and they play once, maybe twice a week. And
Yep.
you hear from these kids, and they will tell you that one day a week, my whole week, those few kids we interviewed, their whole week is built around Sunday at the rink.
Yep.
And that is the feeling of everybody that I know of. And I think the important part of that story is, yeah, they're just hockey players. They want to be seen as hockey players. The way they do it's a little different, but
I had no idea going into it. Just like, how does this sport work if you are visually impaired? And yeah, they have a big puck. I didn't get a close look at it, but I think it's kind of metal, and there's like ball bearings in it. Of course, it has to make noise for them to be able to track it. And I think they told us that the goalies are 100% blind. So when the team with the puck enters that zone, the referees give the goalie they have a little contraption that sends them buzzes them basically, like, hey, start to be prepared for a shot, which is just mind blowing to me. It's like,
That's
how does
crazy.
this work?
What is it that makes hockey and the community around hockey so different? Like, what's that one thread about this particular sport that is so different from all the others that you are exploring with your film? And I know Breezy and I are trying to explore that here as well with all the people we interview on the House of Hockey. But in your guys' opinion, like, what is that tangible thing? Or is it not a tangible thing?
Well, maybe it's not tangible,
or
but
put it in words in some way.
But yeah, it certainly. I believe that it exists. That there is just something different about hockey, and maybe part of it is because it's a sport that you can play into your adult years and beyond. Like we're saying, we played the guy in Germany who's 70 years old, and there's no sign of him slowing down really. So, and you can't really do that with other sports. I mean, soccer to a certain degree. I've played some soccer as an adult, but I just I kind of cringe when that's going on with people who are like 35 years and older. It's just like, somebody's going to get severely injured out here. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Softball, yeah, but that's, to me, that's a lame attempt at trying to keep the baseball passion going. I mean, it's just not the same game. You're throwing the ball underhand, for starters, and then everything else you can't really do. I mean, football, no. Basketball, no. So so hockey is one thing that you can continue to do at a pretty high level, I'd say. I mean, I think we still actually play hockey at a pretty high level. We play the game the right way, whatever, we respect it. And you can go out there with 20 people, drop the puck, and the game happens the way I feel like it should. On top of that, I think maybe one of the reasons is you still get the locker room atmosphere in hockey. You don't get that in those other sports, so that doesn't really change from youth to NHL to beer league. The fact that you
Wait,
get
is that because it just takes so damn long to get ready in hockey? And like, you spend just that much more time in the locker room putting everything on?
I don't get to the rink until about 10 minutes before. So
yeah.
All right. So then my theory is out the fucking window. All right.
Hockey, I think, my experience with sports growing up, and played just about everything, I feel like, it's to me one of the sports that you really can't be an individual. There's something about the team. I mean, it's a battle all the time. It's a series of battles. There's redemption at all different levels on the ice. There's ways to win a game, no matter if you won the game or if you won those small battles. I always look at it as a series of small battles. And as as a coach and being coached, you've heard that all the time, is you win the small battle in a hockey game, or you win the majority of the small battles, you're going to win the big battle. But you still have those rewarding things you do on the ice that, I'll say you're constantly get rewarded in different level. Like, took the puck away, you made a good pass, you made a good shot. But you're always looking at all the other players doing the same thing. I think that it's so easy to encourage each other in so many different ways. And, I don't know, there's just some humongous team connection aspect of it. On top of that, the social aspect, like Adam said, the locker room connection, you're getting that extra time to talk to people, you're recounting the game, you're able to recount all those different things. It's not just we won or lost. Do you remember when I passed it here? Do you remember when, I took the puck away here, that one slap shot, I blocked this, all those different things happen in a series of one game. And I think all those little, it's like a big story. It's a bunch of little stories in one big story. Every game feels like that to me, you know? So I
Yeah.
don't know.
And it's fast and it's aggressive, but I think that's a good point that Kaz makes, that it's into all these little battles that build up to a bigger battle, meaning the game, and maybe it is just it's a game that it's a sport that you really have to play for your teammate. It's what you do away from the puck and coming to people's defense and helping your teammates. You do that in other sports too, but hockey's one where I think that's a little bit more, or maybe a lot more prevalent. So yeah, I don't know. The game is unique, the people are unique, the culture is unique. So
tell us what's like the next step or the next thing you need to do to get the film done and out for all of us to see.
Yeah, so right now, obviously, we're facing a bit of a challenge, with what's going on with the coronavirus. We still have quite a bit to film in the Twin Cities, doing some video calls with some people that we met along the way to just kind of incorporate COVID-19, into the storyline and not ignore it and just say, this is something that happened right in the middle of us making this documentary. So we're gonna capture that because it's such a significant moment in, society and history. So
Yeah, I like the real-time aspect of this too. That's just happening like literally right now at the end of our thing. I mean, it's just kind of, we don't have to make this up. We don't have to go back and interview people. It's like, this is literally what's happening right now. And obviously there's bigger global issues than hockey, but you follow Instagram or any of those things, I'm perfect example. I mean, I literally skate more than Adam, and lately it's been a little less, but I'm at the rink all the time. So my first week of this happening, being home, I bought another net. I bought every possible street hockey device I could figure out to buy. Things were just delivered to my house, and I'm like, oh, what did I buy? Because I gotta do something. I'm like looking at this now, going, I want to get out there and just roll around and.
I have never played hockey, and this virus has inspired me to start learning to play hockey in my studio-sized apartment. So you don't know what kind of stories are going to come and where your documentary is going to take you. So it's just we don't know the full effects of everything that's happening and how long, and just being open to where the story leads you is the way to go. But can we ask you guys a little bit about just some fun stuff with who's your NHL team that you guys support or cheer for? Do you not, or do you more like the player supporters?
I would say the Wild are my team, but I'm not super passionate about the Wild. I love watching the NHL. What I do is NBC SN. They do a great job. I don't know what days they play these games, but they're always playing like Capitals, Penguins, Flyers, just these great matchups. Some of the matchups out west, just give me a good NHL matchup. That's what I'm into. But yeah, the Wild are my team. But the North Stars were my team. We were very young when they left the state, and that still, the Wild still just feels sort of contrived to me, but I'll still watch them. And I think a Wild playoff run, I'd get very excited about that. That'd be incredible. So yeah.
Kaz, what about you?
I shockingly don't watch or care about sports at all. I think maybe I'm just connecting this right now, but the fact that the Dark Stars left Minnesota at a young age, maybe it affected me.
Sounds like it.
We're going to get somewhere real deep with Kaz right now. This is going to be emotional.
This is the emotional part of this conversation. But so I love the Wild. I really want them to win. I really want a Minnesota sport team to win. A little passion for the Blackhawks and the Bruins.
Yeah. Not the Bruins for me though. Blackhawks, yes. I dig that team. I do.
Hell yeah.
I think like any of those teams that really have like a real rooted type of hockey past, I feel emotionally for the Maple Leafs. I like that team for other reasons, but yeah, that I guess hockey wise, those are my teams. But I watch the Wild now. My fiance got the package on Hulu where you can watch the sports,
Mhm.
and I would have never bought that. But since she bought it, we do sit around. She likes watching, and I enjoy sitting with her and watching. So yeah, I get so emotional over watching it, like, you know, especially after I mean, I can't handle it, man. Like sometimes that run where the Wild lost to the Penguins a long time ago, or the North Stars lost to the Penguins,
Oh yeah.
91, that just crushed me, man.
You were just too emotionally distraught. You're like, I can't do this anymore.
My
Yeah.
mom literally took the Vikings away from me when I was younger. She said, "You cannot watch this anymore."
I don't blame her. That's like being a Bears fan. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like,
get it.
Dad, you cannot watch us anymore. I'm like, I know, it just racked me for days. But anyway.
That's funny. So do you guys have like a favorite hunk of hockey?
A favorite hunk?
Yeah.
Like a man crush?
Yeah.
Like a man crush, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I got a bunch of those.
Who? Give us a
I
name.
mean,
Give us your top.
okay, well, Shea Weber, I've been defensively attracted to him as well as physically attracted to him for many years.
I mean, I feel like you guys kind of resemble each other, not gonna lie.
Well, I'll take that, but yeah. So yeah, him, and obviously my latest inspiration, and obviously for years, is Jaromir Jagr. I mean, the guy is a beast.
Oh yeah, he's a
He's
beauty.
47 now, I think. I'm 43, so
Yeah.
He
I was
gives-
looking at it like, well, if you know, obviously he's had a lot more opportunity to be working out and doing things, but I'm like, I literally have no excuse at this point. This is bullshit. I mean,
Adam,
Yeah,
what about you? Who's your hunk?
You know, and Rachel, you're gonna like this. Not because I think he's a hunk, but I think his game is sexy. Is Patrick Kane? I like the swagger on the ice.
The way he plays is very sexy.
Yeah.
I like the
Adam,
mullet. I don't
you
know about
agree
you
with that?
guys.
what's that?
I said I like the mullet, but I don't know about you guys.
Ugh, that is not a turn on for me, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's unattractive either. I just, the I don't know, the attitude that comes through, the swagger on the
yeah.
ice. I'm just like, that's pimp. I love it.
I'm definitely never gonna date Patrick Kane. He would be the last on that list. There's so many sexier hockey players.
Well,
Sorry,
and
but
no, I know, but
Sure.
I will also. We were asking people these questions, who their favorite players are and everything, and then I'd kind of follow it up with, okay, well, who's your favorite American hockey player? And he's mine with a bullet,
Okay.
Patrick Kane.
All right, who is your favorite hockey lady? Both of you.
Hockey
Well,
lady.
let's see.
Can I say my girlfriend?
Sure, it can
She
be
played
whoever.
hockey. She won a state tournament in Minnesota, which that's a big deal.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd have to cop out and say my fiance too. I mean,
Okay.
it's not a cop out. She's, I feel lucky to be with her because we play together a few times a week, and I've been saying this. I'm not sure if my relationship would work because I do play all the time at the rink, and she's been a person who's like, sometimes I play at like 7 a.m. She'll be wanting to wake me up and say, "Kaz, you're going to be late for hockey." I mean, that's rare. You gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty rare. So
It's pretty good.
yeah, on that type of level, definitely her. And she was the captain of her high school hockey team, so
Wow.
I found that pretty attractive.
All right, what are your guys' favorite NHL arenas or city to visit or like to go watch hockey? I guess we shouldn't limit it to the NHL because you guys have been all over and traveling. So, where's your favorite place to go watch hockey?
Oh man, I really wish that Minnesota had more of a junior hockey field here. There's not a lot of that. It's a lot of high school stuff. I was just in Warroad, Minnesota for the first time. Do you know much about Warroad, Minnesota?
No.
So Warroad, Minnesota is a mecca. If you ever get a chance to go to a town, it's not going to be super exciting, but go in the middle of a high school hockey season and watch a Warroad hockey game, and you'll see that's a real Minnesota feel to me. I went there for the first time this year because my kid played in a tournament there, and they have quite an amazing high school rink, and I think that feeling of being there was very cool. And it was actually a game. Two of the bigger teams. It was Warroad and it's escaped me. Roseau was it? No, sorry, it was Moorhead. So Warroad and Moorhead were kind of like big rival teams. There's a lot of teams up there in the northern Minnesota that are rival, but that's always been a good matchup. So I got lucky enough to watch a little bit of that game. But after being at that game, it was very cool. I got to go down by the locker rooms, and the kids feel like pros up there. The whole town is there watching the game.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite hockey experiences, I think.
Adam, what about you?
I haven't watched hockey, like been to too many other NHL arenas, but when we were in Toronto, I was dying to get into that arena. I think that would have been a really cool experience. We were, just kind of hoping that somebody would come through with tickets for us or something. And then we went down and we were filming around the arena. I was clamoring to get into that rink. That would have been awesome. But now that I think about it, like, gosh, maybe I should go to some of these meccas. I think New York City, go to Madison Square Garden. I got to imagine that would be awesome. I'd love to go to a Blackhawks game. I think that'd be
You've
awesome,
never been to a Blackhawks game?
No.
I saw them at the Mets.
God, you guys got to get out of Minnesota more often. Come on.
we just play. We don't really go and watch too often.
That's true. That's fair.
How about the Met Center, Adam?
How about
that place
what?
is pretty cool.
So the Met Center, the North Star rink it's where the Mall of America is right now.
Oh.
That's where the North Stars played. They tore that down for a long time ago.
That was a very cool rink. They used to have awesome battles with the Blackhawks back in the day.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say Mariucci Arena actually for the Gophers is a very, very nice rink.
That's right.
It's that place. That is actually probably my favorite hockey arena on earth. I'm a big Gopher hockey fan, and it's just it's like big enough where it's legit, but it's small enough where it's intimate. It's just one bowl, no upper deck or anything like that, which I think is a really cool design. Seats like 10,000 people that way. So which is a huge lower bowl, but they haven't been doing so hot attendance wise lately, so they gotta work on that though.
Well, I want to thank you guys both so much for taking the time to talk to us and fill us in on your experiences that you've gotten thus far with the documentary and what's to come. So where can people keep up with you and keep up to date with the progress of the documentary as the world turns?
fortheloveofpuck.com, and everything is with the number 4, fortheloveofpuck.com. The Instagram is the same way, but instead of spaces, it's underscores, for the love of puck. Facebook, Kaz, the Facebook one doesn't have underscores, right? It's just for the love of puck.
Yeah.
But just start searching that. Number 4, spell out the rest. For the love of puck. Yeah.
Hit them up, guys, everybody listening, if you've got a great story.
Yeah, for sure.
Or something interesting, it's an ongoing process. So thank you guys.
Too for hockey. You guys, anyone on the show wants to come out to Minnesota, we'll definitely show you a good time for hockey. We have a couple tournaments to run. We have one in the winter. That's amazing. It's all outdoor. It's all outdoor rink. Full hockey, 5-on-5 with goalies. It's called the Playground Puck at Groveland. It happens every year on Hockey Day, Minnesota. It's a great tournament. My opinion, the best tournament in Minnesota so far. And then also in Wisconsin, we have one coming up, hopefully in August, if everything settles down. But we have one there called the Madison Mug. And if anyone's ever been to Madison, it's one of the best towns in my opinion, the Midwest to hang out in. And the rink there is amazing, and we get the whole rink to ourselves. It's gonna be a great tournament if it happens. I'm having positive hope that it's gonna happen this year, but we'll see.
We gotta go.
We gotta come. I know, if the world's open, we're coming.
Do you play hockey?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I used to play a little bit of street hockey, but that was just in the front yard. So I got a little setup on my room. I don't know if you can see that over there. I got a little slab of fake ice, but yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what I do. So
very cool.
Well, we'll be back to California as soon as is humanly possible. So we'll definitely make sure to catch up with both you, and thanks for having us on.
We'll make sure to show you guys a good time. I can't promise meat in a cooler and carts of beer, but Breezy is a pretty good barbecue smoker, and I'm sure we can figure something out. So thanks guys a lot. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.